Morning, students. Mr. Balker here. I'm going to go over a lesson of Amplify. I've got my whiteboard back, so I am feeling great and going to get all of this done real fast for you. We are on lesson 7. It's called Pick a Character. There's a lot of different characters in this story, guys. We've got, obviously, Walter, the father. We've got Travis, his little boy. We've got Ruth, his wife, right? That's one part of the younger family. We also have Mama, who lives with them. We also have Benitha, who is Walter's sister, who lives with them, okay? And there's a few other ancillary characters. You should know the characters by now, and you should understand a little bit about their motivations, who they are as people, what they are after, what they care about, okay? We talked the other day about wants and desires, and we talked about a Venn diagram. I kind of want to pull up that Venn diagram right now, because this is that Venn diagram right here, guys. So what we've got here is Mama, Ruth, and Walter. And they want different things. But there's sections where what they want coincides and helps everybody. For example, Mama and Ruth, both people want a happy family and a house. Somewhere to live that's not this crappy ramshackle apartment. They want somewhere for their own. And they fill that in right here. Okay? Walter and Mama also want some similar things. They are for Walter to be a strong head of the family, okay? In this time, and still pretty typically in American society, fathers are oftentimes viewed as the head of the family. And being a strong head of the family means being able to make sure that everybody's taken care of, that there's a future for us, that we're not gonna starve, that we're not gonna be out on the street, okay? Those are things that Walter wants, and his mother wants him to have them too. She wants him to be able to take care of this family and to be successful and strong and all of that. And that's why that's here on this intersection, okay? The other intersection I find pretty interesting is between Walter and Ruth. They both want the same thing as well in some regard. And really what that is for the other person to understand them, okay? Walter does not feel that his wife, Ruth, understands him, gets him, thinks the same things that he thinks. He really thinks that she doesn't listen to him and that she's sort of out there, and it frustrates him to no end. On the same side, she doesn't feel that he understands her, right? We found out that she's pregnant. We've also found out that she's considering not going through with that pregnancy, which is a very contentious idea in a lot of people's minds. But that's where she's at. She's worried about the life that this child will come into. And she's frightened to do that. And I can understand her concern because they don't have the best circumstances. She doesn't want to disappoint another child. She doesn't want to make that permanent decision for someone who doesn't have any say-so about it. And so she's very torn about this. She feels that Walter doesn't get what it's like to be her, to be in her head, to understand these fears, these concerns. That's a big thing, guys. Really getting into the minds of the characters and their motivations. This is a great story, and it really attacks some big subjects, some things that really matter to humans. So I want you to make sure that you're giving it the time that it deserves. The middle thing right here that we've got, I think is interesting because all three of the people want these two things in common. They want Travis, the little boy, happy. And they also want Walter happy. Deep down, all the characters, Walter, his mother, and his wife, all of them want him happy. And it's interesting they filled this out as him being that pivotal moment, because I don't necessarily agree with that. I personally think they want everybody happy. And that's why Mama makes the decision that she makes, because that's the only way to get done everybody's happiness. And so that's why I think that she does what she does. So let's talk about that. Okay, let's talk about what is it that she does. Let me close this real fast. And we're gonna move on. So, lost it, no, still got you, Hank. Don't lose me, Hank. Stay there. Okay, so we've got this idea of overlapping motivations where one person wants one thing, another person wants another thing, but sometimes we want the same thing. And that's the goal. That's the objective in the Venn diagram, is you want to do the thing that benefits the most people, right? That's what's important. So go ahead and go to slide 4. There's 4 slides for you guys to fill out in this. I believe it's 4, 5, 6, and 7. So let's look through them. In slide 4, when you go to the second card here, it asks you a series of questions. What does Benita want? Okay, hopefully you've got a good answer to that. What does Ruth want? The question specifically says, what do they want in Act 1? If you want to use quotes to back it up, great. If you refer back to a part of the text, describe what was happening at that part of the play. Don't just arbitrarily say, well, I think so-and-so wants this. Say, in this act, in this scene, so-and-so wants this. Be precise, because that's your evidence, okay? We've talked about evidence 100 times. It's never going to go away. It's really important to use good evidence, okay? Okay, so you want to fill out these sections for each of the characters. They'll still work. What do they want? Then go to slide 5. Slide 5 asks us to do a little bit more. Specifically, pick somebody. Pick one character that you want to follow through the story. You want to see dealing with all of these changes, all of these problems, all of these challenges. Pick one, okay? Just click on their name here. That's all you have to do. Then go to the second card. The second card here asks you to write down the first 2 things that come to your mind about this character. Whether that's their attitude, whether that's their hobbies, whatever it happens to be. The first 2 things that as soon as you think of this character, boom. And then here in the second part, what do they want most? Okay? Go to the third card. Here you're going to select again your character and you're going to answer some basic questions. This is that want obstacle chart that we've already done before. What do they want? What is an obstacle? What do they do about it? And they've given you space to fill out 3 different things. It would be wise to fill out all 3 things because that's going to allow you to organize your writing for later. And that's what these activities are for. So once you're done with your chart, you're going to want to go ahead and go to slide 6 up here at the top. And you're drawing a conclusion. A conclusion is something that sort of summarizes what you think about this person, what their place is in the story, what their ambitions, what their hopes, what their method of dealing with things are, okay? So right here, in this story, the 4 people describe the character, what they want, what their obstacles are, how they overcome the obstacles, and then read that whole thing. You're going to find that it has just made an argument for you, a clean, clear, and concise argument that uses facts organized in a fashion that would lead your reader to come to the same conclusion. That's the goal of a persuasive writing. You're making an argument about what you think happened in this story. In the last section here, on the second card, we conclude that this character is the kind of character who, and here's where you put forth your statement. What kind of character are they? Is a character who wants to do the right thing for the most people, even if it means they're going to suffer a little bit. Great, that's a good answer. Is a person who cares about their own future more than they care about the rest of the family. Great, that's a good answer. Whatever it is that you believe, that's what needs to go in this box right here. And then the very last thing that you need to do is number 7. So once you finish that, guys, the last thing that you want to do is go to slide 7 and do the solo, okay? The solo is another reading assignment, so click this. And it's got some multiple choice questions after it. So you have a little Venn diagram, I believe, to fill out. So start here, go through this stuff, fill it out, read the section first so that you know the answers to the questions. And that's it. Turn all that in. That is the first week's assignment. There's a total of 11 cards, which I think means there's 10 things to do. So that's it. I hope you enjoy the story. I love it. I'm so glad that we got to get back into it. It's been a while since I've read this, but it's a fantastic story and it deals with some very important things. So, all right, I will conclude the video from here. Thanks, guys.